Definitely back into the swing of things now. Just what's sort of the takeaway from like this training camp versus maybe some of the others, knowing that you guys are going to travel now?
I'm not entirely sure. We just look like a more focused, intentional group this year around this training camp. But really, I'm just excited to travel across those waters, take the 17-hour flight, be with these guys, really bond with these guys, and continue to build a chemistry and a rapport with this team. So I think it's going to be a really fun trip. I'm excited for it.
Being more focused this year, what do you think that's a product of, I guess, as opposed to last year?
For real?
Do you think it's just like coming off of the championship?
Yeah, like not winning a championship. You know?
Fair enough. Yeah. How do you tackle a 17-hour flight? What are you doing?
Read a lot, drink some wine, play some cards, watch some movies, sleep. There it is.
Nice. Anything that you're reading right now?
Moonwalking with Einstein. It's a good one.
Nice.
You have a go-to movie? Like
my favorite movie of all time is Inside Man.
Nice.
Yeah, Denzel, Spike Lee, Jodie Foster. Yeah, it's a good one.
Have you significantly noticed a shift in the energy in the first couple days of training camp with Russell Westbrook being in the gym?
Yeah. Russ super intense. He's an intense guy. Just like everything about him, you know what I mean, is like really intense, and I love it, you know, because I'm like that too, you know, when it comes to the court. So it's just nice to like look over and see somebody that is constantly pushing you, constantly wanting you to get better. It's nice.
Has that been what you expected, or in terms of what you were thinking he would be like as a teammate?
Not entirely sure, but the thing about Russ, he only knows one speed, and that's hard as shit, you know, so I love it.
Aaron, putting on the number 32 before a game, do you think that's going to feel any different than grabbing the 50?
Yeah, it does. It feels nice. You know, I think in the midst of the game, you don't really think about the number. Yeah. But, you know, before the game, it's definitely something a little bit more special to me.
He had some praise for Dario at Media Day. If you think back to when you guarded him, what is the challenge that's unique to guarding him?
Well, he's smart. You know, he does his work early. So, like offensive rebounds, he gets position. He gets his feet set on like threes, and on his jump shot, he can shoot the ball really well. He has great footwork and great patience. So he makes you think the game, and he's just really versatile. So you got to be ready for everything with him.
Do you get a sense for yourself that there's like new pieces you want to introduce to your game at this stage of your career, or is it about refining the things you already do?
Yeah, it's just doing what I know that I can do. That's really what it comes down to. I can do a lot with this game, and just being confident with what I know that I'm capable of.
Do you get the sense that the team kind of shares your sense of hunger after just the way that things ended last year? You talked about how a little hungry this time as opposed to last training camp, maybe a little bit more.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Kind of on that note, does it feel freer this training camp? Does it feel mentally like there's less pressure, or you're able to maybe have more fun, not chasing a championship back to back? What does that feel like? How does that feel different?
I think we want to get back to that opportunity, but yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think we like being hunters. Yeah.
You talk about like long road trips during the regular season, like kind of helping bring the team together. You get on a 17-hour flight, go across the world. You kind of get that team bonding, like I guess that sense of camaraderie start a little bit earlier than you would on a long road trip.
Of course, man. Like the game of basketball takes you all around the world, and we don't take that for granted. So it's a special occasion. It's a special trip, and we understand the magnitude of this trip and just how special of an opportunity it is to go around the world playing a game that we love to play with the people that we love to play with.
Coach was talking at the beginning that he would probably have Christian and Julian kind of split shooting guard time. Have you gotten a sense of how those groups have felt? Like, is there any differences, any noticeable differences when those two are playing?
I don't think we've played enough yet. But I don't think we've logged enough minutes to figure that out yet.
What are kind of the keys to you for like a successful training camp? I guess you've done this enough times in your career.
You got to push yourself. You got to push yourself to get back into shape. Be very attention to detail. I think the teams that focus on the detail and push themselves to get back in shape, they come out with a head start as opposed to the teams that are a little bit lax on the details and lax on the cardio.
Going back to CB and Julian for a second, what makes you confident that they're ready to take the next step in their game?
They're fearless, and they have confidence in themselves, and we have confidence in them. And they're great ball players, and they're surrounded by other great ball players, and that helps with your confidence as well.
Thanks, OG.
Thank you, Aaron.
Bob, you got the first one?
What's that?
You got the first one?
Sure.
Right. Don't ask no silly shit.
All right. Well, what are you gonna do for 17 hours on a plane, and how can this bring the team together?
Well, I think that training camp is the best time of the season just because we get to build chemistry and camaraderie. But the 17-hour flight is going to be very eventful, I'm sure. It'll probably be a lot of Serbian folk music, dancing up and down the aisle. But no, I think we'll, just kind of build relationships on the plane. Play a lot of cards, talk, sleep. Just getting to know your teammates, man. We got a great group of guys. We added some great guys. We got some really good rooks that'll probably do some funny things on the plane. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow.
Yeah, and I know you've been around a while, but do you ever have to kind of pinch yourself to think how far basketball is taking you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Training camp usually was at your practice site, and exhibition games were maybe an hour away at an arena or a different school or somewhere. But basketball, especially our league, has taken me to, places that I never would have dreamed of. Or it's crazy. I've been to China a few times, and now going over to Abu Dhabi, I think it's going to be amazing. So it's definitely a privilege. So.
Any go-to card games for you?
Man, I taught my son how to play Battle, so we like to play that. But we won't play on, that's a kid game. We'll probably play a lot of Blu-ray, some Guts maybe. We'll see. For fun though, not for money.
You have any movies you're trying to, or shows you're trying to catch up on to pass the time on this thing?
Yeah, I'm watching some shows. I just finished Dark Matter, which was really good on Apple TV. I'm also going to watch this show called Pachinko. I'm learning Japanese right now, so it's a show that I think I'll be able to try to, anyway. That, and then what else? I don't know, whatever I want to download, but I need to watch I haven't watched Indiana Jones, so I think I may download that series and maybe watch that.
Like any of them?
I haven't watched any of them. I mean, I know like the big rock rolling down, but I haven't watched the movies.
Coach Malone said you came into camp in particularly good shape this year. Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that you're a pro checking in for work, was there a particular inspiration for that? Or?
I mean, as you get older, you want to take care of your body a lot more, just because things slow down. Obviously, like not my aging in my face because I have a great nighttime skin routine, but no, I just really, last year didn't end the way that I know we wanted, and I didn't like the way that it ended, and I wanted to do whatever I could this summer to make sure that I was ready. If the opportunity presented itself for me to be out there and help our team. So that was just kind of my mindset going into this summer.
Expectation versus reality. What's it been like having Westbrook as your teammate again?
God, it's only the third day. He's a handful. No, that's my guy. Russ is one of my best friends, man. His energy is extremely contagious. Like, just the past 3 days that we've been practicing, he's been teaching guys, going at guys, like learning different things. Like, him and Jamal have a great relationship, I feel like, and that's gonna, make our team go this way. So just being able to see him with different lineups and the leader that he is. Obviously, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's great to have another veteran MVP on your team, and I think that is that's going to go a very long way for our team.
In what ways do you feel you're improving in the role that you've been in Denver now that you're coming on 3 years?
I just take it a day at a time, man. I know that you have to adapt in this league, and I feel like I said at media day, like if you would have asked me during my prime of my career, my ego probably would have been like, no, I'm not doing that, But as you get older, you still want to be able to have an impact on the game, and I'm still competitive. I still love it, and it's fun for me, being able to play and also teach young guys things that I learned, things that I didn't learn, because ultimately it's going to make our team success even better. So,
what's stood out about Dario as someone who you could end up being in some lineups with potentially?
Yeah, Dario and I played together a few times, and it was great. Dario's a great playmaker. He can play in the post and the high post, on the wing, kind of run open for us like Nicola does. New batteries, Bob. But yeah, I think that you can stick Dario in different positions, and he's going to be the same great playmaker and player that he is. So.
Your hands.
I know.
Did you work on your hands this summer at all?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. Worked out and drank wine. Me and Katie did the same thing.
I feel good going into the new season, so.
I feel great.
Real quick, last one. Is it difficult in your experience for a coach? Michael Malone's been here 10 years. Is it difficult for a coach to have the same message? Does he have to change it up? How does a coach keep things fresh and keep things from going stale?
I think you keep the same values and the same foundation, but I think you definitely want to change it up a little bit. But I feel like the things that our core and our values and our foundation that won us a championship, so those aren't going to change. But I'm sure the message and how he delivers it will change throughout the course of the season. And with a group like this, he didn't really have to get on us as much because we know what our goal is and we know what we're capable of.
When you guys, during the regular season, you have a long road trip. A lot of players talk about building camaraderie during a long road trip in the regular season. Do you kind of get a jump start on that going across the world?
Hell yeah. That's why I think that when you go abroad for training camp, I think it's extremely important. You get a head start. You start camp before any other teams. You get that time with your teammates. When it's training camp, it's us and nobody else. So it's good time for us to, just talk, movies, dinner, things like that, because you're literally with these guys for 9-10 months out of the year more than you with your family. So it's great to build those relationships because off the floor is going to help us on the floor.
Thank you.
Dario, hello. So what's your impression now, 3 days into this, with being around the guys? What are your impressions of the organization?
I'm really impressed, obviously. We're talking about probably the best, maybe one of the best team in the league last couple years. Everybody's smiling, everybody's ready. It was tough for the guys last year, coming up right after the championship and try to compete all season. Maybe they a little bit tired last season, and now we can see they energize more. They are happy, and I think it's going to be a good season for all of us. And I think we can go, to be the last team standing.
It's really early, but do you get a sense that you're fitting into the role you kind of expected coming in? Is there any sense of that even after just 3 days?
I think I'm a kind of player I can really adjust on kind of every situation what coach wants from me. Is that playing a little bit more on a 5, down low a little bit more pop, or playing with Nikola like a 4, playing with Vlatko on a 5, or AG, or with the DJ playing 4, stretch 4. So I'm kind of try to be in contact with the coach and specifically for which game he wants me, what to play more and how to adjust for the game. But I think I can complementary for all players there.
What have been your kind of early impressions of playing for Michael Malone, I guess, just a few days into camp and how he coaches?
Yeah, I think he coaches very well. I can see his energies, I can see his toughness, and he's kind of you can see his experience and how he, when he's talking about something, you can see that's really have a base for that. So with that experience, with championship pedigree, it's just amazing to work under him, let's say, and I think he's a great coach.
when you reflect on your career, was there a season or a team or a stop where you feel like you had the most fun in the NBA, where basketball was the best for you?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I have, you know, my early days in a Philly. I was really enjoying, you know, run with the Phoenix when we went in the final, bubble too, you know. I was really liking my role and how I play, you know, beginning of the last season in Golden State. So, you know, a couple places I have fun, but, you know, you always expect that this one is going to be good for my playing, for the team playing, and we can reach something bigger than just us, let's say, this year. So, you know, when you come in 30 years old, you know, you don't run any more specific, you know, you want to be amazing player, you want to fit in, you want to be, you know, good teammate, you want to, you know, play well too, but like really have an impact on the game to win on the end, you know. I think that's why Denver is good, you know. They have young guys, but they really need to figure out how to play their role in a winning team, and a team who is obviously one of the maybe best candidates to win the championship. It's a different role than starting in smaller teams when you have like more offense for you and that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like different and bigger.
What do you think will be kind of the keys for you to be effective in lineups with Nikola Jokic if you're kind of playing the four with him sometimes?
I mean, I think, of course, you're going to need sometimes everybody to learn each other, but I think what I say, I can play off of him. Obviously, he's the best passer in today's league, MVP, so I'm going to play off him. You know, if he wants me to stay a little bit more three-point line or play more down there, you know, I think I have a solid IQ, he has a high IQ, so we're going to try to figure out like how we're gonna play.
Yours is only solid.
I mean, like he's high. I can't put myself in his conversation. Yeah.
Dario, coming from Golden State, obviously they run a lot of motion, and with Steph and with Clay. Then, do you notice any similarities or differences between just these two systems?
Yes, kind of like both teams like to have emotions, go side to side, kind of like. Obviously, when you have like bigs who can really pass, like Nikola and Draymond there, you know, you try to have guys who can really shoot and score around, to play around them and that kind of stuff. So I can see the similarities, but you know, Golden State is good. They have a Steph, you know, and that kind of stuff. But you can see here, you know, Jamal and Nikola, that kind of like pick and roll situation, end of the games, last 5 minutes, you know. AG playing in a dunker, and Michael and CB in this case, you know, playing the shooter outside is going to be really tough to guard. You know, all league knows that, but it's really tough to guard, especially, you know, with Nikola who can make a play, score, Jamal who can score off the dribble. So Golden State is similar, but like you have like step, you know, and you work everything, you know, to be able to free step at least a half second and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Aaron Gordon really sung your praises at Media Day. I don't know if you saw it. What do you make of, you know, his support? And have you guys had conversations just about him admiring your game or anything of that level?
Yeah, we talk a little bit in the locker room. Obviously, we play against each other. Obviously, Nikola, AG, me, we are all same age. So we were under 19 championship World Cup in Czech. You know, America won. AG was MVP that year. So we kind of know each other for, let's say now 10 years, so we've been playing against each other in the league. So, you know, I think AG is great. I think he fits this team unbelievable, you know. He can play in both ways. He can bring the ball up the court. Obviously, very athletic, you know, and he can guard like from position 1 to 5. It's just, you don't see that in NBA very often. So, you know, I'm looking forward maybe playing with him in a pair, you know, try to learn of him, how he likes to play. So I think we need at least a month, you know, to figure out all kind of roles, how we're going to play. So I have big likes and love for AG and his game. You know, we've been in a long league 10 years. We know what is when you start in one team, go in another team and that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate his game and his words.
Has Nikola hit you with a pass you weren't expecting yet?
I can't remember. I know he surprised me a couple of times, but I was guarding him, so no, yeah.
How much can a long trip like this help you guys build that camaraderie and chemistry early on?
I think it can. Sometimes, traveling that lot can be a little bit, can make us tired a little bit. But I think, it's good for the team bond, kind of like to go there, to hang out, get a couple dinners together, and learn a little bit more about each other, and have some practices there to see how we work on the court. I think most important thing how we fit on the court. But I think this team have good, solid, high IQ players who can really play together and find a way to play together.
How will you pass the time on the 17-hour flight?
I mean, it's been last how many, 9 years, always 2 times per year, sometimes 15, 13, 20 hours. Sometimes you cannot reach the flight, you stay in other cities. So I kind of learn, it's going to be tough, but at least it's a, straightforward 17 hours. So I think we should have a good seat, so it should be good.
Fair enough. You try to sleep as much as you can?
I will try.
Real quick, earlier you mentioned you and Jokic and IQ. I know a lot of people who might say that's a Balkan thing. Do you agree? Is that part of the Balkan school of basketball?
Maybe. I think in America you have players with a high IQ, but that's how we learn playing basketball. It's always how I'm gonna trick you. It's not how I'm gonna be faster than you, how I'm gonna handle you. It's more how I'm gonna trick you. It's more like kind of that stuff. So I don't know. That's how we learn. I think we play more team basketball because you usually have clubs. So in clubs, all 12 guys knows how to play, kind of like playing the same style, and everybody kind of fit in the team. But let's say in the States, it's more like you have a couple guys in the team who are gonna get a ball and go work and that kind of stuff. So this is a little bit kind of different, But obviously, in States you have great talents, high players, one-on-one players who are just amazing, really hard to guard one-on-one. So it's more one-on-one basketball. Here is more, let's say, 5-on-5 over there.
Thanks,
Thank you, Dario.